You know, I've been wondering how and why Disney, of all the corporations in the world, has decided to essentially blame their fans for their issues, and then I realized Disney has weaponized our complaints because Disney is comprised of a bunch of f***ing narcissists. Hi y'all, SnarkyJay cosplay here. So a couple weeks ago I really started thinking about everything that Disney has done to its Star Wars fan base. The fact that it's consistently insulted us and criticized us, and I made a video. It was my open letter to Kathleen Kennedy, and it was very much just how I was feeling in the moment. And I realized, obviously, these people are never gonna give a shit about anything that you or I or any of us has to say. And that is because everything that Disney does is born out of narcissism. Let me explain. Any other corporation has had issues with its fan base. They basically backtracked and did whatever they could to repair their relationship with their fans. Because we, the fans, the consumers, the people that purchase the product, we are what keep products, corporations, brands, etc. alive. If we want to look at a recent example, take Bud Light, for instance. Bud Light got in deep trouble with a large part of its fan base with that whole campaign starring Dylan Mulvaney. I'm not even going to talk about my opinions on that matter, but the fact of the matter is that when they released that campaign, people were literally destroying cans of Bud Light and swearing to never drink it again. However, Bud Light didn't double down on this. They realized that their fan base was speaking out whether or not you agree with their choices. Their fan base spoke, said, we don't like this, we don't stand for this, and what did Bud Light do? They backtracked, they changed their marketing, and they started releasing ads focusing on the horses and the fact that they're from St. Louis in good old middle America. They essentially backtracked and did what they had to do to bring their customer base back. Historically, that's what brands, corporations, etc. have done. Of course, the customer has always right has spun the wheel of business for years. People complain and corporations try to make things right. Your steak is overcooked at Outback? Don't worry about it. They'll bring you another one. And because it's Outback, it'll probably be just as up as the first one, but that has nothing to do with anything. I just personally have a vendetta against Outback, and that's not what this video is about. The point is that corporations have always taken responsibility for their own failures. They have put out products and tried to make them work, and when they haven't come out and blamed the public. They haven't brought out actors, spokespeople, producers, etc. to come and attack the people that line their pockets. No, they've simply taken the feedback and learned from it. Something that is important in society. It is important that we, as human beings, are always taking in external stimuli and feedback from the people around us and the situations we find ourselves in to correct and learn how to be better people. Disney has taken this idea and flushed it down the toilet. Nowadays, when Disney fans said, I don't like the Marvels, they said it's because you hate women. When Disney fans said they didn't like The Acolyte, they said it's because you don't like black women. When people claim they dislike anything about Disney Star Wars, it is all the fault of the fan. You're a bigot, a misogynist, a racist, a homophobe, any of the other ists or phobes. That is exactly what you are if you don't like this content. Never mind the fact that your argument may be completely free of political drivel, you're not using the word woke for every thumbnail, you really just have a problem with the product itself, but that doesn't matter because it is so much easier for them to slap a label on you and blame you for the way you feel. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is textbook narcissism. And I actually did a little bit of research while I was preparing this video idea to talk to you guys a little bit about narcissistic traits. Allow me. A narcissist has an elevated sense of self-importance. They may believe they are special or too good for anything ordinary or average. Disney still holds itself in the regard of being innovators. They still think that they are the leading charge in entertainment when it comes to children, when it comes to adults who won't let go of their childhood because they happen to own Disney and Marvel. They think that they're on top of the world. And really, the fans are responding and telling them we'd rather watch something else, yet Disney still thinks they belong on that pedestal. A narcissist is entitled. They may have unreasonable expectations of favorable treatment. As in, Disney feels everything they put out with a Marvel or Star Wars label on it, for instance, needs to succeed because it's Disney, it's Marvel, it's Star Wars. It has to be liked. The narcissist has a preoccupation with power, beauty, or success. They may demand that others admire their appearance, accomplishments, skills, or existence. Disney basically thinks that by putting a label on any piece of content, regardless of how terrible it is, we have to love it. We have to worship it, we have to admire it, we have to buy the t-shirt, tattoo it on ourselves, we have to be absolutely obsessed with it purely because they made it. The narcissist is arrogant. They may display their false sense of confidence in an arrogant way, engaging in haughty behaviors such as being obnoxious, overbearing, prideful, and boastful exhibitionism. Like when they make products that aren't liked, and then they have their stars come out with entire songs discrediting the reputations of their critics.
They spin and poke, bastardize it and appropriate it. Let's try to clone, woke or something with creators. Speak truth to power, keep an eye out for you silly racists.
Sounds about right. And last but not least, the narcissist must be admired. They may not be satisfied with a compliment or pat on the back, but instead demand admiration from others. It's not enough to give it a compliment, which I refuse to compliment most Disney Star Wars content anymore. It's not enough that some Disney Star Wars content has been incredibly successful, like the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian or Rogue One, which, need I remind you, starred a woman and did incredibly well. It made over $1 billion at the box office. In case any meowing was audible in this video, that was this little lady and she's very sorry for interrupting. None of that is enough for Disney Star Wars. Disney Star Wars needs your admiration. It's not enough that they come out with products that go completely against everything that Marvel and Star Wars once were, and then tell you it's not for you. Disney craves not just your admiration and your dedication to defending them on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. They need your money, which we are now becoming totally unwilling to part with and line the pockets of Kathleen Kennedy and everybody else at Disney that is putting our favorite franchises to shame. Folks, once you take a look at the narcissist's pattern of behavior, it is so easy to realize why it is that Disney hates you. Disney hates you because a narcissist cannot deal with people with different opinions. And that's why it's so much easier for them to pick the names of certain YouTubers out of a hat and claim that these are angry white men that are ruining everything. And they will essentially ignore people like myself and Tyrone Magnus who kind of feel the same way when it comes to this bullshit, because we don't fit their cookie cutter idea of what a toxic Star Wars fan looks like. And folks, this is not to poke light at narcissistic personality disorder. It is a very real issue. However, what Disney has is just narcissistic traits. It's all they're essentially weaponizing to use against us. And the fact of the matter is that with a narcissist like Disney, the best response is to dog them and then completely ignore everything they do, so that when they look at their empty pockets and wonder where all that great Star Wars money once was, well, we're funneling it into something more interesting, and we're never gonna pay just to be insulted ever again. That's all from me. I've been SnarkyJay. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. For more SnarkyJay, tune in on Twitch every Tuesday and Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. EST. You can also check out my Instagram, and if you'd like to support me, this channel, and my content creation, do check out and consider subscribing to my Patreon for exclusive photo shoot sets and content. I will add links to all of those in the description below, and let me know your thoughts on Disney's narcissistic tendencies in the comments below.